back. Hi everyone! Welcome to my stream. Am I live? Am I live? Am I live? Can you tell if I'm live? How shall karaoke? Oh fuck, man. Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. It's totally not just redoing everything, and totally I didn't just welcome to the stream. It's totally another day. Alright, so let's get on to the final route of the game. The hidden route, Jacques route. Man, am I excited. So apparently there's a lot of like, in order to get the best end for this, you need to do a lot of shit beforehand. Including what maybe, it's not confirmed yet, to fucking do every route in order to get the best end in this route. Obviously, I just finished the last route in the game, so let's do Jacques route. Alright, so skippity skap skap skippity skap skippity skap skap skippity skap skippity skap skap skippity skap. Why don't I talk my day when I'm going through this? Because this is a long interval. Alright, let's talk about how today went. So let's start about, let's start with what happened. Okay, I woke up pretty early this morning, about 6:30. And, I was like, why am I up so early? My brain does not work well with two things going at once. So I'm like, okay, I'm all hyped up from the sun and moon announcement. I'm all up and stuff. And my mom's like, hey, we still need that lettuce and cheese, and I was gonna go out today. So I'm like, sure, I'll actually pick up some other stuff too. I'll pick up some other stuff like berries, fruit, and maybe a blender, and let's get some popsicles. You know what? Let's just make some homemade popsicles and stuff from real fruit. I was all excited. Mom drives me to the grocery store, which is just across the street, so it was just kind of like a quick thing. And I go there, I'm like, all excited, yeah! I pick up strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. I go to the grocery store. Where the fuck is my debit card? I didn't see my debit card in my wallet, and I'm like, oh shit! Oh fuck. Sorry.
Oh.
I must have left it back all the way in another city from another appointment for putting in a check earlier. Which means I didn't have my debit card. So I'm like, fuck! So I walk back because the bank's not gonna open and I have to report it lost/stolen. So I go back, have a shower, and then head back out all the way to the bank. I go there and I'm like, I have to wait for it to open, it's only a few minutes. So I'm standing there waiting. We finally get in. I'm finally going through the thing. I brought my 2 identifications that it's me. And I start going through and I'm pulling out the identifications. What else do I pull out? My fucking debit card. I pull out my fucking debit card in this, and I was so pissed. I slam it down on the counter, and the woman looks at me, and I'm like, it was behind my information. It was there. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy at all. So, I go back, and I go to what I was planning to do anyways, go back to the grocery store, start picking up all the things again. Oh, let's get a mango this time. Yap-a-doop-a-doo. I finally go back into the grocery store. I'm like, I have my debit card now. Put it in. Denied. Let me try again. Denied. Again. Denied. Oh shit, what's going on? Thanks for following Ice Plays Games. Love you, hearts to you. Anyways, this is almost over. Anyways, so the manager comes out and she knew me from before, and because she knew about all the incident. She was like, it's you again. I'm like, yeah, it's me again. And she just lets me call my bank, and I'm going through all this shit and like calling them and be like, please, what's going on? And apparently I didn't have anybody in my account, which I didn't know. I apparently was in the negatives before, and I didn't know that. Okay, we're here. Long story short, I only was able to pick up the lettuce and cheese, and I was looking towards getting a smoothie all day, and I never got it. I was disappointed. That's why I was like PTSD of the fucking smoothies, man. We're here! Final route of the game! Final route of the game! Let's pick Jacques!
What?
What? What do you mean, what? I'm into bestiality! No, it sounds weird. A little bit more than weird. That's bestiality, Hannah. Yeah, but a lot of people do it. That's in anime. That shit's illegal.
No.
I connection with him I haven't felt with anyone else. I felt like he understands me.
This is so stupid.
He's a bird, a robotic bird. He doesn't even have feelings that a bird would have. Just, look, are you my friend or not?
What?
Of course I'm your friend, Hana. Then support me on this. I shifted uncomfortably. She seemed to want to continue arguing with me, to find a way to pull me out of it. This is what I decided for myself. There's nothing else. Nothing else that would make me happy. This route, by the way, I want to mention this, I've known since the Kickstarter. This route was actually, what is it called? A goal bonus. Basically, they raised over the amount they got and got Gerard and Jacques into this. No one would have me anyways. It's not...
No.
I won't have anyone else. Then, if that's the way you feel, it is. She sighed. Well, go on.
What? Uh-huh.
Go and get your man. Bird. Wait, you mean now?
Yeah.
Mai hit me on the back and practically shoved me towards the door. As I get on my lead, my legs turn to jelly. Go get Senpai to notice you. Mai, you know.
Yeah.
No talk, Hana. This is gonna be your big day. You're a main character, unless you mess up real badly. Blah, blah, blah. I messed up a lot, though. Just go. Sorry, I'm just skipping through that, because this is gonna be good shit. Now, where would I find him? John was where he said he would be, in the theater. He was holding Jacques and dramatically singing an opera song in a tone I didn't think he could muster. A sad-looking first year sat on the bench of the piano, reluctantly playing music. I waited till a pause where the piano notes slowed, singling the end of the song.
John.
Jacques! Oh, Hana. He stopped and jerked his face to me. A worse bird might have sent it careening towards the chalk-marked floor of the auditorium, but Jacques stayed firm. John cleared his throat and looked at the floor, receding from the opera mood. How can I help you, Hana? I wasn't expecting you. He coughed awkwardly. I almost did the same. Sorry to bother you, but can I talk to Jacques?
What?
Jacques? He looked at Jacques and back to me.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. What are you gonna do with him? I'd just like to talk to him about something private. John shifted uncomfortably.
Well.
If there's anything you want to say to him, you can say it in front of me, right, Jacques? Well, not anything.
Oh,
So, go on, Hannah. This was even worse than I thought. John would probably think I was a freak, but in all the academy, only Jacques made me feel truly understood. He was my only chance for companionship. Even Mai, who was my best friend, even she didn't understand my feelings for Jacques. I barely understood them myself, but at least Jacques might understand.
Jacques.
Will you, Jacques, go to the flower festival? John's mouth dropped open. That is a good question.
what?
Well, I'll be! I will respond positively if John agrees to it. I held my breath, mentally begging John to let him come with me. Of all the people you would ask, you want my bird? Why? I've been very lonely while I was here. Even though everyone's friendly, I still feel like I don't really belong. I don't feel like the connection of any of you. And Jacques, I feel he... John held up his hand. No more, Hana. I understand. Whoa! Fucking your bird grew 2,000 fucking sizes! He held up his hand to Jacques, who hopped onto John's outstretched finger. Jacques has given me comfort and love during many of an unsure time. Sometimes you can trust animals the way you can't trust people, you know? Robots even more so. He held his hand out to me. You can have Jacques for the festival. John, thank you. He nodded and looked at me expectantly. The festival isn't tomorrow, though, so... Oh, right!
See ya.
I'll bring them to your place tomorrow, then.
See you later.
Great. I'll see you then, Jacques. Goodbye, Hana. I'm looking forward to it. I smiled and headed out of the theater. John. He understood, and now I was going to go with the date with Jacques. I woke up late next morning, the day of the flower festival. I was buzzing with anticipation, but because it took me forever to work, it was now noon, and I have to skip the scene. I bounced inside our dorm, joyous, filled with anticipation. At the prospect of seeing my winged love. I stood by, watching me nervously. So excited?
Yay!
Yes, I'm excited! What are you gonna do with the bird? It's not like you need to play games or anything. My bouncing flattered. But I'm sure things you could do with only a robot bird for fun, right? You could probably, spy on other people for you? Make sure you don't take things, turn slowly to her. Right? Right. Worry extra face, but I smiled and tried to play it off. I'll be fine. I mean, it's not normal, but it's what I want. I'll be okay. If you say so. I nodded happily. He should be here any minute, so I'm going to go wait outside. Right? I guess I'll see you later. I left the room and shut the door behind me. Is it already too late for her? I stood outside, body humming at every flicker of movement in the distance. My heart leaped, flowers fed on the breeze, and stirred the sense of spring. It didn't matter what anybody else thought. At some point, I made an unconscious decision, and I was following through. I would do whatever it takes to be happy. Even if it means having Jocks, it meant having Jocks.
Hana!
Hey!
Jacques! John! There you two are! Hana, you look amazing. Thanks! What do you think, Jacques? I held my arms and he did a little twirl, giggling. Jacques bobbed his head in acknowledgement. Those flowers are my favorite. Are they? I can see I'm interrupting. John held a finger up to his shoulder and Jacques crawled onto it. John's chin wobbled. So, I guess I'll leave him with you for the time being. I nodded eagerly as John tenderly stroked Jacques' head. You'll be okay, won't you? Better than when you have me. Oi! Why now? Even when you're so sassy and I'm full of emotion. I sassed to cover up my feels, John. Oh, buddy, are you gonna miss me too? I'll miss you like takeout. Buddy. I cleared my throat impatiently, holding out my hand. Okay, have fun, buddy. Jacques hopped from John's finger to my own, and his tiny claws scraped me, supporting so much weight on his fragile tendrils. He shifted until he got his balance and stretched a wing. It felt to me like a baby rested on his head on your shoulder. I wanted to protect him. I wanted to love him. I wanted to make sure he was safe. Why is look? Oh God, that's a mistake. John is in front of Jacques, so Jacques is about 40 feet big. I never wanted to let go. Jacques curled up my arm, a combination of intensity and skill. He perched on my shoulder. I felt his head move towards John. I will miss you. Please have a fun night. Buddy. I cleared my throat again. John wiped his face with the back of his hand and straightened his shirt. Well then, I'll just be going.
See you later.
Bye, John. I'll see you later tonight. I waved eagerly as John stumbled off into the darkness. Finally, I was well and truly alone with Jacques. So, Jacques, what do you want to do? Jacques grabbed his under his wing again and fluffed and shuffled his feet. Lead the way. Okay. I headed towards the festival. There were stalls which to play games and to eat food, but mine was in the right. I had no idea what appealed for those would for Jacques. Instead, I crossed towards the bonfire, set in a field from a festival. People, especially older folk, were gathered around it watching the flames dance. In the distance, I could see Miss Shiz laughing with an older fellow, his arms slung over her waist, her face illuminate a shade of red. That won't work out. I glanced over at Jacques in surprise. No, why not? That human male has no interest in her as a person. It is unfortunate. I turned back to the man as Miss Shiz. He was grinning lopsidedly, rubbing his hand up and down her waist. No? Go closer if you want to hear. I crept closer to them under the guise of finding a suitably dry log to sit on. All the logs were equally dry, so maybe this wasn't convincing. But Miss Shiz didn't notice either way. Slowly, the conversation became more audible. Miss Shiz was giggling intensely. She seemed to be more nervous than happy. Oh, do you want to go get some ice cream? I really love ice cream. That's a lot of work. Is it? Yeah, but we can head over to my place. I have the special kind that will knock your socks off. I haven't even bothered sharing it with anyone yet. The man grinned at her, and his hand straying lower, but Miss Shiz didn't seem to notice. Instead, her eyes glittered. It occurred to me that perhaps she thought this was invitation that meant that he was reciprocated her. Humans are predictable. I frowned and turned away. I didn't want to watch any more of that. Miss Shiz keeps picking the same kind of men. It isn't so surprising that this happens. Jacques, why are people so horrible? Jacques cocked his head to the side as a complicated question. That is a matter of perspective.
Really?
Is it? The people I met in my life, almost all of them, before coming to Asagao Academy are absolute jerks. When I first arrived here, I thought I found people who were different, people who truly cared about one another, about me. As time went on, despite the affection I received from everyone, I felt myself feeling distant. I thought I cared about them. I knew I cared about them, but I couldn't feel it. I reciprocated their affection the way I would have been feeling it, but I remained, for the most part, unstirred. In some instances, my body reacted, but my emotions didn't. I didn't understand why it was happening. But Jacques, that's why I like you. What is? He moved from side to side on my shoulder. I wasn't sure what it meant, but I assumed he was thinking. Why did you choose to take me to the festival? Why? Well, do you remember my first real day of school? Jack's eyes flashed. Yes, you said you were afraid of birds. I grinned sheepishly. I am afraid of birds. When I first saw you, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, a pang of terror. I've been living in fear for a full year, completely afraid of all the people around me, what they could do to me. I was still afraid what Asagao would be like, and whether things would go poorly. I was still this tight ball of anxiety, but when I saw you, I felt a pang of real terror. I smiled, and Jock's eyes flashed again. I am not following. Do you remember after all that, I found out you were a robot, and I felt instantly safe again. And just like that, all my fears were wiped away. Then I got to watch you and Jean interact like an old married couple, full of love and understanding for one another. I think it was then that it happened. I thought, I want that too. So you literally went and take me from John?
No.
No, not take you. That sounds so horrible. Jacques shook his wings. I could trust you more than I could trust people. I feel safe with you. Anna, I think you are very strange. I nodded. I think so too. You don't think I'm weird for liking you, do you? That is a dangerous question, Hana. Dangerous? How so? Neither answer will be good for you. Aw, Jacques, are you looking out for my well-being? Jacques bobbed his head from side to side. It is a matter of perspective. That's what I like about you, so straightforward, so reliable. Again, a matter of perspective. Well, from my perspective, you are surely wonderful, and I would like to feel privileged to spend more time with you. Indeed. I nodded happily. It would be indeed a privilege, as John would have to grant you the ability. The happiness I felt until now slid off me like water. I guess he would, wouldn't he? Anna, John is the most important to me. You understand that, right? Yes, I understand that. Why was he telling me this now? Did he want us to have a fun time? You shouldn't bring up other people when you're on a date. It's not polite. Anna, I am feeling uncomfortable.
What?
What? No, sorry, I'm sorry. I lost my temper. Please don't feel uncomfortable. Look, these are such pretty flowers over there. We should go look at them. Perhaps another time. Would you please take me to John? My heart stopped in my chest. Had I blown it with Jacques? Was this even Jacques? A little robot programmed for companionship rejecting me? No. It didn't make sense. Jacques wasn't a robot. No, he was a robot. A thought came over my mind. A headache throbbing against my skull. I pressed my hand to my temple, wincing in pain. Anna, are you okay? I'm fine. Sorry that came out of nowhere. Maybe better to take you back now, you're right. I headed back to campus, towards the Bluebell house. Jacques was worried about me, and thought he was enough to clear my mind with each step I took. As we got inside, something occurred to me. Jacques, couldn't you fly to John yourself? He shook his head. I might be a bird, but the metal in my wings prevent flight. They are for aesthetics only. He stretched his wing out, showing off that one might flex an arm. I giggled as we reached John's door. And I stretched an arm out to knock it. My hand froze. A sudden thought gripped me. If Jacques couldn't fly, did that mean that if I were to take him, wouldn't I be able to keep him? A small trembling spread across my body, first slowly, then faster. The trembling grew until I was shutting in front of the door. Should I knock the door? I should knock. Anna. Hey, do you think... Door opened in front of me, and I stood face to face with John. Oh gosh! Shucks, there you are. I was about to come look for you. Take me, I am yours. John held his finger up to my shoulder and took Jacques from me without my permission. I clamped my mouth tightly shut. I'm so glad you're back okay. Hana, I have to admit, I was worried. I'm glad to see I can trust you. A smile plastered itself over my face. Of course, I treat Jacques as I do with my own. Did you have fun? It was fun, but I would still preferred spending the time with you. I shifted, the sentence hit me, as though it was a physical blow, and I avert my gaze from the tomb. If I might ask, how is Jacques can have preferred feelings for someone if he's a robot? Jacques is a highly advanced. He's programmed with free will mechanic that allows him to control his own decisions and thinking. Along with that, his affection for other people, it grows and diminishes with people's treatment of him. I guess that the variables I don't know about. He stimulates a personality well, doesn't he? I nodded uncomfortably. So you've never messed with a mechanic before?
No.
Oh no, never. Not even sure I can. I never looked into it. Why would I want to keep Jacques for living how he wants to? He might be a robot, he might be a bird, but he's my best friend. He's there for me. He loves me unconditionally when no one else would. You understand what I'm getting at, don't you? You were saying the same things when you asked him into the festival. Yeah, I get it. Of course, I haven't thought of the mechanical like that. I guess there are ethics even with robots, eh? Especially with robots. I could go to the law of robotics and feel like I'm going based off them, but I need to get the radio station right about now. Peeps and I have a show to do. Right? Sorry, I'm in your way then. A little bit. I stepped out of the doorway and gestured to the hall. After you two. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for showing Jacques a good time, Hannah. I'm sure I'll see you in class or something tomorrow.
See you later.
Yeah, I hope to see you too, or the both of you, again tomorrow.
Later.
Alright, have a good night. Jacques waved to me and headed up to down the hallway. Jacques didn't even bother looking back. It was okay. This was okay. I could be satisfied with spending time with him like this. After all, there was no hope in changing my situation. Not at all. I just had to buy my time. Enjoy each moment as it came. I put a hand to my head, feeling dizzy again. At some point, I returned to my dorm and crawled into bed. I hadn't even changed out of my yukata. Something felt weird about this whole thing. I felt a little off, but it was okay. I'd see Jacques again tomorrow. As long as I held on to that thought, nothing mattered. Nothing really mattered. The Jacques route. This is, again, another one-chapter thing, and I know this for certain. I sat with John and Jacques at the library, listening to them bicker. I told you, we only have to look up 5 different attack combos. I think you should do 40. What the fuck? But I don't need to. Trust me, your skills could use some work. I giggled and John sighed in exasperation. Hana, help me with this guy. There's no way I'm gonna survive taking care of him for the rest of my life. I'll take care of him for you. How about that? Doesn't that sound good, Jacques? I winked at him and his eyes glowed. No. Ha! What a guard. Haha, yeah. John frowned at me and set aside his book.
Hana.
I looked at him in expectation as he cleared his throat. It's come to my attention that you might have misunderstood something about Jacques. You seem to think he's a real person who has feelings.
No.
But Jacques doesn't. Not the way you and I do. He's a robot after all. Well, I know that. Why are you telling me something like this? Don't be silly. I'm not judging you. I'm not saying you're doing anything or feeling any certain way. But even friendship works differently for Jacques. He's running off of a program whether you like it or not. Granted, he's got free will, and that's why he can be sassy as he is. I would never in my life violate his free will, and that's what I like about him. Stop, you're making me blush. But he can't feel like you and I, and nothing will make him feel that way. I had to experience it with him in the past, you know. That's why I'm warning you. I don't want you to fall into the same kind of thing that I did. It's not worth it. Programs are programs. As much as Jacques is my friend, I'd come to terms with that. So should you. I smiled, my chin trembling. Of course I know that. Don't worry, John. I'm not an idiot. I'm certainly not going to have real feelings for a computer program. What kind of person would do that? He shrugged. I'm sure you wouldn't be the first. But don't worry. I know you're smarter than that. I just wanted you to know, since you're so empathetic and everything. I cocked my head to the side, confused. Well, thanks for the warning. I guess, it means a lot, I guess? No problem, Hannah. Now then, back to studying. Eh, Jacques? Spare me.
Yeah!
That's the spirit. John buried his head in his book, and I pretended to read my own, all while watching Jacques in the corner of my eye. Computer program. Really? Did John really want me to believe that? Did he even believe it himself? Anyone who met Jacques could realize he was something special. He wasn't just a robot. There was no way. Not after the flower festival. I wanted to argue with Jean, but there was no way I could do that while appearing sane. I didn't know enough about the law of robotics to even start debating philosophy and ethics on the matter. Instead, I nodded to whatever John said, all while imagining a possible future. Myself and Jacques, the leader of a new world order, free will, freedom of expression, true rights for robots. Robots are human like John and me were. Even if I was the only one who saw it. Must be real, right? It must be. It was late one evening in our dorm when I was laying on my bed, staring at the ceiling. Even as I tried to put it out of my mind, I couldn't. Jacques didn't love me. He couldn't love me, no matter what I did. I wanted to forget about my feelings for him, but the more I tried to push them out of my mind, the more they followed me. Whether I was in class or eating, or in the shower, or going to sleep, everywhere I looked was Jacques. It didn't help that I was starting to feel less and less sure of myself. Not only was he a bird, but he was a robot. A robot with personality and some sort of feeling, but a robot nonetheless. Was I crazy for feeling this way? Was there something wrong with me? Part of me thought so, and the rest of me felt like the more of the situation than to me to die. There was something about Jacques that seemed utterly human. But the only question was, how would I get to it? Hana!
What?
The shock set me off my bed and I landed headfirst on the floor. Sat on the ground, nursing my now throbbing head and glared at Mai. To my surprise, she didn't look apologetic at all. She looked downright furious. What was that for? I don't know what's wrong with you, but do you really need to shape up? What are you talking about?
What the hell?
Did you forget about our joint essay that was due earlier today? That you were the one going to turn into Miss Shiz? A sinking feeling hit my stomach, but I avoided her eyes. It's not due until tomorrow. I grabbed her calendar, sitting on my desk, and shoved it in my face.
No!
It was due today! You said you would turn it in! I bristled, trying to nonchalantly shrug it off. I'll just go talk to her, explain what happened. It should be fine. Why don't you turn it if you knew you didn't do it? I didn't do it.
Ow!
It's a game! You know this! She took a long, deep breath and looked at me again. Tell me what's up with you. There was a period of silence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
You think I haven't noticed? You haven't been doing any of the homework or studying anymore. Your grades are falling drastically. You're barely eating lunch, and I haven't seen you touch that game in a week. Don't you want to join the Normal Club? Aren't they relying on you on the tournament? More importantly, aren't you going to basically flunk out of here if you don't shape up? I swallowed and grabbed my backpack. Surely my grades weren't that bad. I was a smart girl, but even if I was putting as much effort in my schoolwork... 32. The first paper I got had 32 on it. I stared at it, completely dumbfounded. I never got a below 70 in my life, not the year since before. Had I not noticed? Mai crossed her arms as she saw the look in my face. Okay, maybe my grades have been falling a bit, but it's nothing I can't make up. And yeah, maybe I could use a bit more practice. What are you, my mother? Don't get on my case like this. I can look out for myself. Can you really? Why don't you just tell me what's wrong? I know something. I know it's something. You're not usually like this. I took a deep breath, ready to reveal my feelings for Jacques, and to my deepest sense of hopelessness. When I tried to say something, I've been dealing with some stuff from home. A lie came out instead. Mai frowned. Okay. You know, you can always talk to me if you need to, Hana. I'm always here for you. I nodded, biting my lip. Of course you are. I was only a few days later when it happened. Hana, please, I really need your help. There's been an emergency with the play and I need to go right into the theater to sort it out. Apparently someone set something on fire, or there's someone hiding in the closet waiting to stab people with a plastic sword. I'm not really sure. But I left Jacques to upgrade after lunch. I can't go get him. He needs to be unplugged immediately after he upgrades, or else he could get some weird malfunctions. Can I please trust you to go get Jacques for me? My eyes widened. Of course, John. But why me? You're the only one Jacques trusts besides me. I'm not sure how you did it, but you did. Warmth swelled my heart, and I felt myself glowing with pride.
Yeah.
Of course, you can count on me. Good, thank you. If he's not done when you get there, just wait a bit. There's a 10-minute window after it finishes, so you should have enough time. Oh, and if you see any alerts pop up on the program, just hit OK. He dug around in his pocket and handed me a silver key, rather than a golden one the girls had.
Bye.
Bring him to the theater right after you grab him, okay? I'll see you there. He dashed out of the room, sheer panic across his face. As I crossed the door, I noticed Shane staring at me. John never trusts people with Jacques. That said, he turned away. Oh, right! I should hurry! I didn't want anything to go wrong with Jacques now, did I? 3112, 3113, 314. Here it is! John's room. With a pounding heart, I fit the key into the lock and turned the knob. The door unlocked with a very heavy click, and I stepped into the room. The room was just as dirty as I remembered it, clothing littering the floor and a stagnant feel. There was a difference this time, however. A light glowed in one of the corners of the room. Jacques stood in a little metal contraption, an odd humming sound filling the air. A wire plugged in somewhere in his bottoms, and his eyes were flashing colors. Multiple different colors. I had no idea they were inherently red. I crept over the machine, following its wires with my eyes. They plugged right into John's computer, so I wiggled the mouse a bit until a screen woke up. Upgrade. 89%. Good, so it wasn't done yet. That means Jacques was safe, and I wasn't going to have to bring an utterly destroyed Jacques to a broken-hearted John. I watched as the program data rolled across the screen, numbers and symbols that didn't make any words I could understand. Where did Jacques come from, anyways? I glanced over at him, my heart skipped a beat. They said there was nothing like looking at a person you loved when they were sleeping. Their faces free of worry, completely vulnerable and innocent. I didn't understand what people meant by that until now. Jacques looked so calm, so cool. I swallowed. He wasn't odd, so he wouldn't remember anything that happened, right? What the fuck are you doing? I reached out a trembling hand with a feather-like touch. I ran my finger down his face and over his beak. Ah! The computer pings and I oh, I thought that was my computer. Heart pounding, but Jacques was still asleep and nobody had entered the room. Heart practically in my mouth, I read the alert on screen. Alert, new data has been added to the human registry. Hana Misunu. Me? He's talking about me. To the next button. Hana Misunu. Gender female. Hair pink. Eyes green. Personality kind, trustworthy, sweet. Emotional attachment 23. Adjusting emotional attachment that will override free will. Emotional attachment stat that had arrows next to it? Does that mean I could adjust it? That said Jacques in the back of the screen. Does that mean if I raised it, Jacques would have feelings for me? Could he even fall in love for me? I don't know, I couldn't mess with that. That would be wrong. John trusted me. But how would anybody know if I altered it just a little bit? No one would be the wiser, and I'd be a lot happier, and I could give Jacques the love and attention he deserved. The kind of love John couldn't even give to him. Leave it be. I shook my head. There was no way I could do that. That would be taking away Jacques' free will, and that would be a crime. That would be completely awful of me. I put my hands on the mouse. That would be a terrible thing to do to somebody. Hana, no! I slid over the arrow. I wouldn't do that to a real person, so why would I do it to Jacques? I clicked the button and the number started rising. That would make me a bad person. Oh my god. And again. Again and 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 again. I slammed the enter button. I wouldn't do such a thing. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. The box switched to a new form. Rather than lines of script, there was a simple snapshot of people's faces. PBG, Shane, Jimmy, John, and me. Adjustment registered. I smiled as the update continued, finishing how rapidly the list's final change was implemented. Glanced over the page, reading notes as the bar neared 99%. Then I froze. John Jafari. Gender male. Hair black. Eyes brown. Personality jolly, creative, caretaker. Emotional attachment 0? Couldn't be right. There's no way that'd be right. I looked at my own profile. Emotional attachment 100. That mean I ordered the one stat in the program and a dialogue popped up. No, emotional attachment collect max 100. So, it was 100 for me. You couldn't give any for John? Or anyone else for that matter. What did I...
Upgrade complete.
A blinding light filled the room and I covered my eyes. When I lowered them, Jacques' eyes were lit once again. Oh my god, that's creepy.
Jacques.
Hello, Hana. Let me get you unplugged. Thank you, Hana. That is very kind of you. So far, you didn't seem very different. I reached underneath him, blushing furiously, and staring defiantly at the wall in front of me. Unplugged his wire from underneath him. Upon doing so, Jack fluttered his wings and climbed up to my sleeve and perched on my shoulder. Thank you so much, Hana. And to my utter shock, he nuzzled himself against my ear. You are my favorite human.
Jacques.
Thank you, Jacques. I need to get you to John, though. You're late for the theater practice. It's worth being late if I get to spend time with you. My gosh. Was I dreaming? There's no way something like this was real. A small part of me would disagree with that what I thought. I was struggling as if there was something it wanted me to tell me, as if something I wasn't paying attention anymore. But I smiled. Jacques loved me now. Oh my... Nerditude, you fucking missed a fucking creepy-ass scene! That was the only thing I cared about. I walked into the theater, Jacques on my shoulder, and in heaven in my heart. John turned to face me as soon as I walked in. His worried face immediately broke into a giant smile.
Hey!
Jacques, Hana! He ran to meet me as I walked down the steps. We meet halfway. I glanced past him. There were a few scorch marks dotting on the stage, but otherwise it all seemed well. Whenever crisis occurred, John was able to stop it in time. Thank you so much for doing this for me, Hana. I was worried sick since it was taking so long. Taking so long? I glanced at the call on the wall. I've been gone for 30 minutes. It didn't take that long just to unplug him. How strange. Regardless, I shrugged it off and smiled. It was nothing. John beamed and held out his hand. He looked at it. I looked at it blankly, not registering what he was trying to do. Come on, buddy, hop on. Jock stared at the hand in front of him and turned to look questioningly at me. John frowned. You can get kind of skittish sometime after an upgrade. All new functions must be like getting a new pair of glasses or something. Everything looks different. He said this, but he looked concerned. I held my hand to Jock and he stepped onto the edge of my finger. Go ahead, Jock, it's okay. Jock cocked his head at me and stepped onto John's hand. Hello. Here we are, no problem here. With relief eased John's face. It is good to see you again. Yeah, it's good to see you too. We must practice for the show. John looked utterly bewildered. Yeah, we should, you're right. He frowned again, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. They didn't put an obedience chip in you, did they? You're not usually like this. I am a happy birdie now.
Well?
That's good, but, He glanced at me, and I shrugged nonchalantly as I could. Was there anything weird that happened during the upgrade? It should have been a routine maintenance upgrade. I screwed with my face, trying hard to remember what happened in John's room. For some reason, I couldn't quite remember. I walked into the room, and Jacques was there, and I touched him. And then... was there... yeah, there was an alert or something on the computer. How did I not remember? It literally just happened. Maybe I was right. I was losing it. I think there was a pop-up or something, but I just hit OK like you told me. Huh? Then it should be fine. Maybe get a few days so it'll get better? Yeah. I'll check over the update notes on the website just in case. They usually provide a summary of what they messed with. I nodded, wringing my hands in the back, talking about Jacques like he was a piece of software. It really bothered me. It's okay if he hears you talking like about that.
What?
Yeah, of course, he knows he's a robot after all. Jock's eyes flashed, but he said nothing. Anyways, we really need to get back to work. Thanks for doing this, Hana. It's a really private rehearsal today, so I'll see you tomorrow. Oh. My heart sank. For some reason, tears stung my eyes, but I held them back. Yeah, no problem. I turned around and was about to leave when... I want to go with Hana. I froze in my tracks. Silence ran the theater.
What?
I turned around. John was staring at Jacques like we'd never seen before.
What?
What are you talking about? You're my little guy. I want to spend time with Hana. But we're best buddies. Jacques' eyes flashed and he said nothing. I started from John to Jacques, horror mixing within me, both fighting for the expression. All it could be is I could do not look pleased at the turn of events. Something told me John wouldn't take kindly to that. No, Jacques is your, caretaker. John looks after you. Yeah, buddy. I want to be taken care of by Hannah now.
Jock.
This is really, really weird. I'm gonna have to look in the upgrade notes. I nodded, an airy feeling striking with me. Go ahead. That sounds like a smart idea. John looked at me funny, but nodded. You're good with John, Jacques. I gotta do my homework for once.
See ya.
Right. I'll be seeing you, Hannah. Hannah. Goodbye. I waited till as I left the theater and stepped onto the damp, misty air. The door closed behind me and I took a deep breath. And I broke into a dead sprint. I needed to. I ran into John the next day in the hallway. Jacques peered over his shoulder.
Hey.
Did you manage to take a look at the notes? He jumped and looked at me. Oh, Hannah! He rubbed his beard, his hands sticking out of everywhere. He hadn't properly shaved. It almost like he hadn't changed clothes since yesterday. Yeah, I looked over the notes. Everything seemed normal. I couldn't find anything that could have caused such a change. Anna, I missed you.
Jock.
Aw, Jacques, you're so sweet. John was staring at Jacques. Yeah, real sweet.
Oh,
Anna, if you'll excuse me. John disappeared down the hall, looking as though he's seen a ghost. Is he okay? He looked really out of it. I'm sure he's fine. I hummed happily as we walked into the classroom. I think today will be a great day. Yeah, I'm sure it will. I plopped myself down next to John and immediately began telling Jacques about my day. So Miss Shiz started ranting about another ex of hers.
Right?
Right, it was kind of sad, honestly. Hannah, do you mind paying attention to everyone?
Hey, Hannah.
Yeah, join us in the conversation. You and Jacques can talk privately some other time. I shot a glare at them and turned to face the group. They smiled and started talking about some dumb tournament strategies. I leaned to John's shoulder, acting as if I was unaware of what I was doing. He stiffened beside me, but didn't move away. I'm not sure he had the room to. In any case, Jacques noticed and crept from John's shoulder onto my own. Jacques! I smiled. Perhaps you'd rather talk with me and listen to this prattle? That's exactly what I had in mind. And if you don't mind, John? John stared at me in shocked silence. Can I take him, please? I mean, please, John. I guess. If you really want to go.
Yay!
Yay! See you later! Jacques and I spent most of the lunch hour soaking in the sun together, enjoying each other's company. Nobody had ever made me feel so special, so whole. I didn't even want to give this feeling up. There was a knock on our door that night. When I opened it, I found John on the other end. Jacques wouldn't go to sleep unless I come to tell you goodnight.
Jock.
Oh, Jacques, that's so sweet. I couldn't rest until I knew you were safe, Hannah. Well, good night, Jacques. I gave him a light pat on the head, and he shoved his head under his wing, clearly embarrassed. John stared at Jacques.
What?
I've never seen him do that before. Good night, Hannah. I wish you the best recharge possible. I wish I could be with you tonight. I looked at John, and he looked at me. Well, that's rough, buddy. You're coming back to me tonight. You're cruel. Jokester like always. I wasn't joking. Anyways, I'll see you later, Hannah.
Bye.
Right, night. I closed the door, absolutely glowing. Jacques was so sweet. After class that day, John approached me with shaking hands.
Hannah.
Hannah. He sounded like he was going to cry. What was wrong? He cleared his throat and began again. Anna, it has come to my attention that I may not be the best person for Jock right now. It seems like he'd rather, for whatever reason, he would like to rather have you taking care of him. I choked back a sob. So, he held his hand up to the shoulder, Jock top onto it. Because I love him, I want to make him do what's happy. Anna.
John.
Oh, John. I took Jack and placed him on my own shoulder. John looked away for a moment.
Yay!
This is wonderful news! You'll have to come to my room still to recharge him. I can't move the docking station because I have it specially designed with the Academy's electrical systems in mind. There's no other place on this campus that has enough power to charge Jacques, so that's that. I'll still get to see him every once in a while. I'll bring him around to see you, sure. Not. Thank you so much, John, but right now, Jacques and I have some things to do, don't we, Jacques? You read my mind.
See you later.
John watched us go, and I took one last glance before I turned the corner. He had crumpled. He was staring at the floor, expressionless. He looked like he broke a man. I giggled. Served him right? This is a really, really creepy room. Oh, crap! Hana, I forgot today that we were going to practice in uniform instead of our gym clothes. I left them in the dorm room. I don't want to be late for practice. Do you think you can go grab them for me? Why should I do that? I balked. It would really help me out? I don't owe you jack. Not now that I have Jacques. Hana, you've been really strange ever since you went on that flower festival date. I caught my hands in front of her face, shocking her to silence. I don't want to hear it. Don't bother me with your problems, okay? I've got to go. But...
This is so stupid.
She shoved past me and then broke into a sprint towards the doors. Now then, where did you want to go this time, Jacques? I glanced at my watch and giggled. Definitely, by this time classes started. I bet they're all wondering where I've gone, Miss Shiz especially. But you can't work hard every day. Life is for living, right, Jacques? Of course, Hana. You couldn't be more right.
Jock.
What would I ever do without you? I don't even want to imagine the possibility. So, do you want to see a movie? Hana, I really think you should consider giving Jacques back to John.
No!
Who the hell do you think you are?
What?
You think some super idealistic foreign exchange who can just waltz in and tell everybody how to live my life? You don't know anything about me, or Jacques, or even about John.
No!
What are you acting like I know best? I think you're overreacting a little. If anything, I'm not reacting enough. Don't show your face ever again, or make sure you regret it. I looked outside the window and gasped. Oh no. The cherry blossom petals have fallen off the trees already. How is that possible? It's only been a few days. I glanced at the calendar on my desk and balked. Or weeks. I haven't been to class in forever. Shucks. We won't be able to see the cherry blossoms together now that they're gone. There's always next year, Hana. I won't leave your side. Jacques sat charging in John's room, and John watched him pitifully. Do you miss him? He looked at me in shock and nodded. I do. Jacques is my best friend. He's seen me through some terrible times, and it really sucks. It'd probably be nice to have him back, wouldn't it? That would be more to me than anything else on this earth. Jacques finished charging, and his eyes flashed. Hana. Sucks to be you, John. Jacques helped on my shoulder and we walked out of the room. Hana, yeah, you're right. Hana's turning into goddamn sociopath. Time started to go faster and faster. With each passing hour, I felt less and less like I belonged to Hana Misanu, and more like I belonged to Jacques. Together we were one. Together we could defeat anything and anyone who stood in our way. I was up late one night talking to Jacques, ignoring Mai, who lay near bed with headphones on, and there was a knock at the door. Jacques cocked his head at me and I sighed. I guess I'll have to answer it. I shot a dirty look back at Mai's head and then answered the door. To my surprise, Miss Shiz stood in the doorway. Can I help you? She looked at me in utter shock. Miss Misanu, is there a reason you haven't been coming to class? I haven't been feeling well. Really? Because I checked with Miss McPasta and hasn't heard anything from you either. She gazed at me, worry in her eyes, and I stepped back. May I come in? I mean, I guess so. I stepped to the side of Willie, and then she thanked me and crossed to my bed and then patted her blanket beside her. Come sit down. I frowned, but I did as I was told. It was strange sitting here with Miss Shiz. I hadn't much contact with an adult woman since my mother died. It wasn't something I usually thought about, but sitting next to her, the warmth of her body next to me reminded me of my mother. It was a comfortable feeling, a loving feeling. I held back tears and Miss Shiz put her arm around me. Hana, I don't know what's wrong, but I'd like to help you. If something's upset you or someone's been hurting you, you can tell me. I'll do anything in my power to protect you, and I won't hurt till soul. She rubbed my shoulders as I stared at my feet, carefully avoiding Jock's perch. Has anyone been doing anything to hurt you? Is anybody threatening you? I shook my head. Then you're feeling okay. I started to nod and shrugged my non-shocked shoulder. She continued to rub my back, apparently waiting for me to say something. I feel off-kilter. How do you mean? There are entire chunks of my memory that blacked out. I can't remember those things anymore. I just don't care about anything around me. I couldn't care less. Day goes by and I lose track of them. It's endless. Everything is endless. I don't even see the lines between day and night anymore. It's all just one big endless tunnel. Nothing matters except... I stopped. Could I really tell her about Jacques? No. Wait, what? Wait, what? No matter how much I wanted to confide in Shiz, but... Why is Hana's not listening to my input? I'm in love with a bird. I'm in love with a robot. These sentences I could never say, no matter how obvious it was those came around me. These were sentences I was ashamed to admit were true. I was scum. I barely deserved to live in the same world as Jacques. There was no way anyone would be able to understand. But as long as I had Jacques still with me, still by my side, I didn't have to worry about it. It didn't matter how I felt or what was going on with me. Jacques mattered. That was all. Hana, it's clear you're struggling. Would you like to come talk to me in the school therapist? I shrugged. Shiz started at the floor and then sighed. There's something else I came here to say. According to school policy, if you do not raise your grades, you will flunk out of Asagao Academy. You worked so hard to come to this academy. Surely you must have a reason. Some dream you wanted to reach? My reason? To avoid the pits of hell. Does that count as a reason? To escape the people who are making my life a misery. Something fluttered in the back of my mind. There was something else, wasn't there? Some kind of hope I had. Was it just to be safe here, wasn't it? If I could just try to reach it emotionally, try to reach for it. There was some sort of light feeling. Something like hope. But as soon as I realized that, I melted out of my grasp. It was too late in any case. I shook my head. Shiz sighed and stood. I can't make you care, Hana. Only you could do that. Now that she was standing, a cold fluttered to my side and I shivered. I'm sorry. No, don't be. She smiled. I still believe in you, Hana. Please come to me if you ever need anything. Yeah, Miss Shiz is actually really, really nice. And she showed herself out. I collapsed onto my bed, shoving my head into the pillow. For the first time in a long while, I felt something other than the manic excitement, sadness. I felt sad. That meant there was something wrong, right? Tiny pinpricks started on my back and something sharp hit my head.
Jacques.
Don't worry, Hannah. I care about you. Jacques. My heart started to beat faster and I smiled. That's right. As long as I had Jacques, I didn't have to worry. Not about anything. I sat with Jacques on my knee, staring deeply into his eyes. There was no way. There was no way that I could believe that Jacques didn't have a soul. Not after all this time. Jacques was alive. He was human. He was beautiful. And he loved me. I stuck out a finger and rubbed the side of his head, and he nuzzled into me, and my heart melted. Jacques cared about me. I wasn't sure about me in the end. Even if something were to happen to change his programming. 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 He would still love me no matter what. What was I thinking about? Was there something... Hana. I'm sorry, Jacques. I wasn't paying attention to you. I love you, Hana. Tears filled my eyes and I nodded. I will love you forever, Hana.
Jacques.
I know, Jacques. I know you will. I woke up to the intense pounding on the door, and in my head, oh god, I glanced at my clock. 2:12 in the afternoon? What the hell was anybody doing at their doors at this hour? Hana, open the door! John, my heart jumped, and I looked at Jacques, who sat perched me next to his silk pillow. So you are in there! Let me in immediately! I sat up, but Nemo moved to open the door. What's wrong? You sound so angry. I sound angry, do I? Loud laughter steeped from under the crabs. I sound angry, do I? Good! Feeling horror spread my stomach, without me fully comprehending the source. If you don't open this door, we'll beat the thing down! I want Jacques back! Now! No, you'll never take him! He's happy with me, don't you understand? You reprogrammed him! John rolled through the door as there was a heady thud. He wasn't actually going to break down the door, was he? I grabbed Jacques and placed him through my room wildly. I couldn't throw him under the bed, could I? I couldn't hide, not in the closet, not behind the door or in my desk. What could I do? Where could I go? My eyes fell on the window and I flung it open. Hana! Grab her! I was kneeling out the window. Don't touch me or I'll jump! I was still cradling Jacques in my hands and his eyes flashed dangerously.
No.
John took a step towards me and I leaned fluttered out. I will!
No.
No, you won't! Not while Jacques is with you! My heart fell. I looked at Jacques in my hand. He looked up at me. He trusted me. He trusted me to keep him safe. I couldn't drop him to his death, could I? In that moment, hands gripped tightly, and the world spun around me, and suddenly I was on the floor, Paul's arms around my waist. No, let me go! I failed, kicked, hissed, fighting like a maniac, clawing on one of my free hands. Jared grabbed one of my arms, PBG snatched a leg. John leaned over me and tried to get Jacques out of my hand, and I spat in his face. Good God! Shane put his hand over my face, and I saw only darkness. He left just enough space over my mouth for my nose to breathe through my muffling screams. I felt Jacques being pulled away from my hand, held on as tightly as I dared, not wanting to hurt him. But then, with a final yank, he was gone. I screamed and I screamed and I screamed, but there was nothing I could do. I heard footsteps head towards the door, and then out the door, and then down the hall. The last thing I heard was Jacques' voice. Anna, where are you? Then darkness. I flew up into a sitting position. I barely registered where I was. Something had happened. Something was wrong. The door was almost hanging off its hinges. The window was open. The clock read 2:48. And Jacques was gone. Instantly, I was on my feet, flying across the campus. I pounded on John's door, increasingly at first, but growing weaker and weaker over time. Sobs filled my throat. Jacques! Please, no! Then the door opened. PBG stared at me in Solomon, then let him in. John sat on his bed, buzzing Jacques in his arms. Jacques, are you okay? Please say something to me. Jacques turned his head and looked at me. His eyes flashed once. He remembered me. Wiggled out his John's grip and crawled to the edge of John's knee, fluttering his wings. I held my arm out. I knew it. I knew he'd always loved me. Get away from me, you disgusting creature.
What?
Remembers what you did.
What?
What I did? I didn't do anything. You took away my free will. You destroyed my anatomy and forced me to love you. The only sickest of humans would do that to another creature. No, that's hardly even human. But all the time we spent together, you said you cared about me. I do not. I stared at him.
Hana.
Are you okay? You're shaking. My teeth began to chatter.
No.
This isn't happening. You should leave.
No.
Jock does not want you here. Jacques' eyes flashed again, but he said nothing. Gently, PBG grabbed my arm and led me towards the door. I allowed him to push me into the hall, no longer processing the feelings in my body.
Hana.
Are you gonna be okay? Let me take you back to your room, okay? I will be back from practice soon. You'll be okay, right? sorry, Hana, but even I... He shook his head and left the room. Eventually, I laid down in my bed. Who knew how much time has passed, but eventually... Hey, Mai. Whatever happened to Hana? I haven't seen her since... Well, you know, the incident. The mention of her name. John glared outside of our room. I shrugged. Oh. I'm speaking from Nai now. She wouldn't stand in me, no matter how hard I tried. She wasn't eating or sleeping or talking to anybody. She just sat there, staring straight ahead. Eventually, I got worried. I told Miss Shiz. The next thing I knew, she was gone. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, no problem. BBG went back to his desk and I stared at the empty one in front of me. What I said was mostly the truth, but Hana had been diagnosed in our tiny little dorm room. She displays several signs of anti-personality disorder. Sociopath. Didn't make any sense to me. Hana started as such a sweet girl. She would cry when she was upset and she would yell when she was mad. It didn't seem like she was doing those things without feeling behind them. Something was wrong, very wrong. But they took her somewhere. I didn't know where. I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't even get to apologize. They told me, even if they were pulling her away, shoving her into the van, as she fought them and tooth and nail, she was screaming, "It's not my fault, it's not my fault. They did this, and maybe even I did. Maybe there was something I could have done differently. I could go back in time. If I could replay those events over and over again. Who would I be able to... Would I be able to save her? Wait. Play over the kings. There is a mention here that... sorry. Whoopsies! I'm using a walkthrough. That's why I'm getting... I just want to get best roots. But it says here... It came to my attention, you may need to play this twice to get the true end. I do not know if you have to finish the rest of the routes as well. I can't test this anymore, but I keep in mind if there's an issue. I'm still not... Or I'll send a message to this person if this is what the case is. But if that's the case and I have to play it again, well, you guys get more fucking content, don't you? But unless there's something strange at the end here, we'll see. But if it just goes back to the screen, I'll just play it again. Just for you guys, but I'll skip through everything. Because you guys don't want to watch it again. You guys just watched it. Holy fuck, what a route, man! Holy shit, that's a creepy ass route! It really is! Oh my god, what a creepy route! Yeah, definitely the best route. Like you don't even see Hana like this. But it did, like it mentioned there, that if I could just go back in time and change something, it says that you could just redo the exact same stuffs here, and it'd work, apparently. But Hana wasn't listening to me. Hana wasn't listening to me at all. Hana x Hana confirmed. Happy music for those the fucking creepiest ass ending of all. It was weird. What an awesome route though. What a weird change. I thought it was a little insane to go after Jacques. Alright, let's see if there's another ending here.
Asagao Academy.
Nope, I have to play it again. Alright, let's start from the beginning. She seems so sweet. Alright, let's just play it again. We're gonna speed past through everything. And by the way, Nerditude, you were right. When the skip option isn't available, that means there's new dialogue there. So. Alright. Doop-a-doop-doop. If this is the case and I get the end for this, that's fucking insane, man. space. Oh yeah, I guess I'll just... Hannah wakes up and all of the Asagao Academy was a dream, and she's just been in an insane asylum the entire time. Thank you.
Oh.
Skippity skip skip. I can't speed this anymore. Well, this route will be uploaded to YouTube, so you'll be able to see it later. I'm uploading both the routes, the hidden block route and then this route. She was actually tripping on LSD the whole time. That'd be pretty interesting to see that this is like she's an insane person, and this is all just imaginary for her. I want to choose between you. Negative Nancy. Yeah, none of that matters. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Alright, back to Jacques. It's weird skipping through this part. Well, confess to Maya. And then she just... And then... Hana, through this most of it... Alright, this is the Leave It Be scene.
Upgrade complete.
Alright, tell her. Try to reach it emotionally. And that's the last choice. Wait, what? Hmm? What was that? I squinted in the darkness. A figure stood in front of me, bent over something. Mai, is that you? The figure rolled around and I saw what was in her hands.
Jock.
He was broken in half? Literally. Sawed down the middle? His head. He was clenched in Mai's fist. Mai stood in front of me with a sad look on her face.
Hana.
What have you done? I flung myself out of the bed and grabbed Jacques, shoving Mai to the side. So Mai actually stops her. She spun her. Are they aware about this? She spun around the room and hit the wall with a rough thud. Jacques, no, this can't be happening. I attempted to stand, watching me carefully. Jacques. He was definitely gone. He was definitely dead. The wires were sticking out both ends. He'd been cut by something incredibly sharp. There was no response from him, not even the faintest flicker in his eye. He was well and truly gone. I clenched his remains to my chest and I glared at Mai. Why did you do this?
Oh no.
Don't listen to me. You bitch! I crossed the room in a flash, tackling mine to the middle. Ugh. I hit her as hard as I could across the face and then pulled my hand back, ready to beat her again, into oblivion. But she grabbed my hand and held them down. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't free myself from her grip. Her volleyball training was good for something after all. My pathetic spaghetti arms couldn't reach her, my rage be damned. We remained like that for some time as I struggled. She prevented me from hitting her. Why would you do this? Hana, you've been... What did I ever do to you? Do you hate me, huh? You said we were friends. That's why I'm doing this. You don't think I've noticed how sad you've become? How you've been pushing away everything and everyone you care about? All for a damn robot? Without warning, she let go of my arms and hugged me. You! I began to beat her back, shoulders as hard as I could. Let me go! Let me go!
No.
I'm sorry, okay? You've been suffering this whole time by yourself. And I didn't do anything about it. I didn't help you. I just pretended not to notice. I got upset with you instead of trying to understand why you'd be so mean to people around you. Because like it or not, Hannah, you're not the kind of person that can push away without feeling. Every time you did, every time you were sad, deep down you were sad. I know you were. I'm sorry. I've been so scared. She pulled me into his tighter, buried my face into her shoulder. I'm so sorry, Mai. I've just been feeling so weird. I don't know what's been going on. I feel like I've gone crazy. It's okay, Hana. I don't know who I am anymore, Mai. It's okay. We stayed like that for some time, wrapped in each other's arms. No matter what I did to her, Mai wouldn't let me go. Not till she was sure I was okay. When I finally drained myself of everything, Mai helped me into bed and crawled next to me. I've just been so afraid, Mai. I don't think there's anybody left for me. Don't worry, silly bee.
You're my best friend.
I'll always be here for you, no matter what. Even in time and space can't talk to me. You piece of shit! Don't be silly. I closed my eyes and started to drift off to sleep. I wasn't. So then we stuck into classroom, right? And Mai took the keys. It's been nearly a month since I attended class, but things were finally getting back to normal. I felt happy. I felt actually happy for the first time in weeks. Not the mania of excessive happiness I felt with Jacques, where it seemed like I was getting all the air squeezed out of me. But normal, simple happiness, light as a fresh blanket. For whatever reason, John never got upset with me and Jacques. I expected punishment of some kind, but I thought he'd never speak to me again. This was definitely the worst thing I could have ever done to him, but instead, he was fine, even friendly towards me. It was almost like Jacques never existed, like the whole situation never happened. I could almost forget about it, except for the fact that I was currently failing Asagao. I talked to Miss Shiz, and we agreed to extra classes to help me catch back up. If all went well, I could save my grades and I wouldn't have to leave. I really hope I didn't. Not now, not when everything was so much better. Everything that happened in the past month with Jacques and John and Mai, it all felt like a dream. Everyone forgave me. We were all moving forward, but there were times I felt like I was missing something. What's wrong? No, nothing.
Yay!
Good, because guess who got enough money for ice cream? Mai. I was probably just imagining things. In the end, it didn't even matter. I had my friends. And they had my back. True end. This is the true end of the game. What the fuck? That is actually the true end of the game. So this is the true root of the game. How fucking manic is that? How fucking crazy is that? That's the main root of the game. This is the fucking root that you... I already knew this was the true route, by the way. But damn, son! It is a better route. It is definitely the best route in the game. Because there's two parts to it. What, like, fucking mind went through time and space just to stop that. Just to stop from, like, Hannah going insane. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that was a wreck. Oh my god, I just realized I just fully 100% completed Normal Boots Club. Completed. Woo! We finished the game! 100% finished the game! Woo! I don't know what to play next. Mine has Jared as her boyfriend. Mine's actually an interdimensional being. Yes, the true end. That's what I was gonna think, because it says because I was reading through Jock's route, and I'm like, confess to my, leave it be, tell her, try to reach it emotionally. I thought mine and her would get together, and that was the true end, and that Jock's route was just gonna be this crazy thing. But you know, we'll see. The true, like the finishing cutscene hasn't played yet, so we don't even know. By the way, I want to thank everyone who made this game and the Kickstarters who even went towards this. Like, my god, you're Chrism, you're a fucking amazing artist, and wow, that creepy monolith was great. Alright, let's see the final scene of the game. Watch you go to menu. Congratulations!
Completed!
You have completed Orgasmic. Gerard would be proud of you. Here's the completion bonus. Lovely gift from mine to you. Best wishes. Normal Love. Normal Boots Club fanfiction by Boonspot 1969. What? Chapter 1, he came. This is a work of fiction. Disclaimer, I do not own any of the individuals or their personalities. I'm just a fan, so don't sue me. It was a long, rough day for Jared Kubenire. He resupplies his gun and attached it to his back. Behind him, his best friend was scaling a wall, trying to get a good shot of the alien invasion they were currently facing. His comrades in arms, Shane and Josh, had recently gunned down right in front of his eyes. He was less... I'm talking this, like, nonchalantly, like, ah-da-da-da-da. PBG, are you in position yet? Jared hissed through the walkie-talkies attached to their uniforms. There was a slight static in reply. I'm ready. You know me, Jared. I could never let you down. Jared smiled. PBG always had his back, all the way when they were kids. But Jared knew that PBG found out how Jared really felt towards him. Their friendship would be over. For now, it's enough time to make PBG sorry for him. That means sacrificing his teammates, so be it. It was worth as long as PBG was safe. PBG grasped against the edge of the rooftop, setting his sights on this nearest enemy alien. Jared was always the one who was rushing headfirst into battle, and it was the things where PBG liked most of him, but it drove him crazy thinking Jared might one of these days meet his end because of whose foolhardy ways. PBG scanned the perimeter. Aside from the alien who's got his sight odds, the coast was clear. With a grim smile, he pulled his rifle to his shoulder. Good night, sweet prince. PBG shot right out. An alien cleared direct hit. Yes, Jared said, but something was wrong. The alien was still alive, still moving. It turned, looking in direction and shot. Wait a minute. Is this just XCOM fan fiction? Like, is this just Jared playing XCOM? Because it sounds like it. No! Jared started running to the top of the building, legs pumping as fast as they would carry him. No! He pulled himself on top of the building where PBG was being menaced by a shiny gray and luminous alien. Not if I have anything to say about it! Jared flung himself on top of PBG as the alien launched a grenade on both of them. What do you think? Exciting, huh? Just wait until Chapter 2. Chapter 2 Samurai. PBG woke up with something heavy on top of him. He sat up, and it looked like he was gas. And then Jared was resting in his lap. How did this happen? PBG's mind raced, trying hard not to think the exact positioning of Jared's body in relation to his, not to think of his giant, slender, yowie hands. PBG glanced around, recognizing seemed different than before. Instead of alien technology in the rough city landscape that he was used to, there were trees and the smell of smoke in the air. PBG nudged Jared to life, who jumped. What happened? Where are we? Jared immediately started talking, but his eyes fell to PBG's angelic face. You're all right, he said. I thought you were going to die. Nah, PBG said. I'm a bit harder than that. But where are we? Jared asked. PBG looked at him grimly at him. I have a theory about that, he said. I have a feeling we're Fudo Japan. Whoa, twist! I know. Are you excited for the rest? Good, because there's a lot of smut to come, and don't worry, I'm just warming up. This is not a series for the squeamish. It's for the squeamish. Lol. Stay tuned for the next chapter. I think it's got hectic at the end, so we'll just get around to it. Until then, keep your booties normal.
Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club.
Alright, so let's look at the final image. Look at this fucking creepy ass motherfucker. I wanted that sweet smudge too. Apparently it's somewhere online. Let me see. Scene room? Jacques. Broken, notice me birdie. Fix. You let him go. Hidden. Alright, look at all that. So no end. Yeah, you're right. There's no end. Hana doesn't get anybody. She doesn't date anybody. That's the true end. Felt like something was missing, so no one knew it. Alright, let me see if I can find the rest of those chapters. I'm just gonna quickly look. Does anybody remember the name? Asagao Academy. What is it? In-game fanfiction. I'm gonna see if I can find the rest of this, and if I can't, I'll definitely, She dies alone, true end. Nope, I can't find it. Fanfiction. Let me just look at fanfiction. Secret Kickstarter, need more money to finish the fanfic. Whoa. Wattpad. 3-part story. Okay, let's read. Reese's on YouTube. Okay, I can't find it anywhere. So it looks like the actual fanfiction is like a fake one. Well, what a fucking game, huh? Damn, son. Well, there's only one way to end this game. Before I go, I want to ask all of you if you have any idea for games that I could play in a story format. I'd love to hear your ideas, and if you have any ideas, message me or leave a comment below on YouTube, and I'd love to read them. I read every single comment, guys. I truly do. I don't respond to all of them because I can't think of a response to all of them. I don't do that in real life. Oh yeah, hello. There's like so many comments. Oh my god. Anyways, if you have an idea of what game I should play next, tell me. I'll be streaming Thursday because Wednesdays are my day off. So if you have an idea till then, tell me. I'll go get it. But until then, I'll be streaming Stardew Valley as my. It's kind of like my middle thing that I've been playing with. But anyways, there is only one way to end the Normal Boots Club, and I think you know what it is. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I could just end the stream now. Okay. I'll see you guys Thursday with a new game, or just Stardew Valley. See you guys later.